Two sleeps until the transfer window shuts, and we've got just time for two more signings at West Ham, one slightly closer than the one, and that's where we're going to start with. Mike Perez of Arsenal looks like he's on his way to West Ham, should be confirmed by tomorrow night, hopefully. £4 million. There's a myth in life. When it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Have we just blown that myth apart?
I think it's a really good signing for us. I mean, he's made it clear he wants... Pellegrini's made it clear he wants a backup striker, and Perez fits the bill well. He's experienced, he knows the Premier League, already lives in London. It's an easy signing for us. Do you know what I mean?
Tom, we've not got much money left in transfer budget, so Huselos and Pellegrini have been at the car boot. Have they managed in this deal to find an absolute bargain?
It looks like it. I mean, in today's market, you would take 4 million for, we would say, sort of a player of that caliber, probably potentially worth maybe about 15 million. So yeah, I think this is a brilliant deal. We don't have a backup striker in terms of Carroll anymore. We've got Arnautovic, obviously, that might play up top or with Chicharito, or might play on the left. We don't know yet. So no, I think, to bulk out the squad, and especially for £4 million, seems an absolute snip. And I know obviously Arsenal want to clear wages for potentially bringing in somebody else, another attacker themselves. So yeah, I think to do a bit of business like this is just the reason why we have someone like Huselos taking control of transfers now and not David Sullivan. So, it's nice. It's a breath of fresh air to see us get what looks like a good quality squad player, or maybe better for that sort of money.
Last season in the La Liga, Perez was actually second for the most chances created, only behind Messi, and he was fourth for key passes per 90 minutes, behind Messi, Vieira, and Toni Kroos. Mike, is it just a case of this person just hasn't been given a big enough chance at Arsenal purely because of the talent ahead of him, and this is where we're going to hopefully benefit from that?
I think so, mate. I think if you look at what's happened to Arsenal, he's always been, they only really ever played one up front. Which meant, and he being more or less pretty much an out striker, he sometimes plays on the left wing as well, doesn't he? But mainly he likes to play as a striker. He's made a few substitute appearances, but largely he's not been given, I think, the opportunity to do what he wants to do. It's worth noting, I'm pretty sure that for most of the season, Pellegrini intends, because he has done everywhere else, to play two strikers. So assuming the key two strikers will be Arnautovic and Hernandez, well, they're not going to play every minute of every game. He's going to get a lot more game time with us, I think, than he would do if he was stuck there at Arsenal.
Tom, one player we were heavily linked with over the last 48 hours or so was Bernard. He's now gone to Everton. We've obviously pulled out of that in order to go get Perez. Has our patience paid off for this one?
I think so. If it was reported that we were supposed to be paying, or he wanted around £200,000 a week for wages, and that was sort of what put us off, then God knows what Everton have paid for him. So I think it's good that we don't break the wage budget. We've spoken about that even with young players. So, even if there's someone like that available, we can't be sort of two-faced and say, oh yeah, break the wage budget for somebody like that. So no, I think it goes against what kind of business we've done this summer. And I think it would have been, you don't want players at the club that are willing to, milk dry for that. So we've, held steady, which is good for us. These are all different things that's, happening. We've not really seen that before, but we held steady, and a good player is cropped up for a small price, and Arsenal looking to sell. So yeah, I think this is a fantastic bit of business. And yeah, it would have been nice to maybe have seen Bernard, but if it's, like I said, rumoured for the price or the wages that he's on at Everton, then no, I'd happily take Perez all day.
Well, Perez should be announced by tomorrow night, Wednesday evening, as a West Ham United player. We might have to wait until Thursday for our other signing, which is believed and looks likely to happen. As ex-Villa defensive midfielder Carlos Sanchez, who got sent off within 2 minutes of his World Cup campaign in the summer. Mike, you've been screaming out for a defensive midfielder. What's your opinion on this link?
I don't really think it's. I was hoping we were going to get something a little bit more of an actual midfielder. I think this is very much a squad player. I think he'll be like third in place for that role behind Obiang and Rice. I think he's there in case of injuries and for the odd cup game. I was hoping we'd get someone with a little bit more quality there, to be honest with you. He's okay. He's not least rubbish or anything, but I guess the money's run out on that one. But I would have treated that position with a bit more priority. But,
Tom, Mike says he's not rubbish or that. Do you agree with that, or do you think he is a bit rubbish?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was in the Premier League for a bit. I can't remember what he was like. I don't remember him being great, but I don't remember like individual performances. He didn't help himself, obviously, at the World Cup in the summer, getting sent off within 2 minutes into his debut. I mean, his nickname's The Rock. I mean, I don't know how well he did for Fiorentina last year. If maybe to have a nickname like that, hopefully you would expect he's semi-decent. We've got the captain now, The Rock. So who knows? But it's a weird one because obviously I screamed as well. The first transfer show we did of the summer, I said main position I want to see is a big solid CDM. So it's a bit of a shame to see, that price, or not that price, but that sort of caliber of player, someone that probably will be third choice and a role player in there. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, I think it's almost, I trust Pellegrini a lot. I trust him with his transfers and what he's doing. And to be honest with you, if it means he's going to be playing Declan Rice at CDM, and we've seen the Ogbonna-Balbuena or Ogbonna-Diop partnerships. If it meant stunting Rice's growth, then I'm almost glad that he's not gone and bought somebody, because we were able to now see him grow into next season. So if in terms of a squad player, yeah, okay, I'm happy with it. But at the start of the summer, it's not perhaps the signing that I first had in mind.
Is that what we need to do, Mike, for this signing? While a lot of people are sort of disappointed by it, do we just need perspective in the sense that we have spent 100 million near enough, and the transfer kit is all but gone, and this is the best we can get on loan?
Yeah, I think so. I'm wondering if he's called The Rock due to his pace. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope not anyway. But I mean, like, I think so. I guess it's like, as I say, I think it's better than nothing. I think it's almost like, well, we've got that position kind of filled anyway. And Tom's right. I mean, it means Declan Rice is going to get a lot more game time. That's a better thing for the club moving forward. And I think he's there really to just to be in the squad in case of injury, or we want to rest someone, rotate someone out for a game here and there. But is he coming on loan, or are we buying him? Do you know?
It's supposed to be on loan. He's 32 years of age as well. So
yeah, okay, that's probably a sensible thing then. Get him on loan. I don't think his wages would be that much. It makes sense to me. I still think though that's an area of the part we could have improved on. But then if he's going to play 4-4-2, he's only got 2 central midfielders anyway. So yeah, do we need loads of midfielders?
Well, that sounds like all the incomings for West Ham in the summer transfer window. Tom, are you ignoring the outgoings? We'll come on to the outgoings in a minute, but are you happy with what you've seen from West Ham, assuming we get Perez and Sanchez over the line as well?
Yeah. It's the best transfer window we've ever had, I would probably say, in terms of money spent and quality of buying. We wanted an extra attacker to take the burden off of Arnautovic. We got 2 of them. We got Yarmolenko and Anderson. Finally, it was nice for the first time in a long time that David Sullivan has gone through on a manager's top target. So there was all these things on a checklist that we had to check off going into the summer. We got the director of football, which was the main thing. We got a world-class manager, which was another major point. And it's nice towards the end of the window that we haven't sort of said, right, let's shut up shop. He was right. It was sort of going to be a one in, one out policy. And if Kouyate's gone and we're getting Sanchez and potentially Hugo leaving, we get Perez, so he's looked to build on that and bulk his squad out. And it's just been a fresh breath of fresh air almost just to sort of see this happening. So, it's probably been the best summer in the club's history. And, we've, for the first time, there's a positive vibe. We've done well in pre-season. We've looked good. All the players are making the right noises about the training sessions and stuff. So, yeah, look, this is the most excited I've been for a season in a very, very long time.
Mike, the last 4 or 5 transfer deadline days, we've all been a bit panicked because we've all known what we've needed, and it's not really come off at all. But we can relax for this one. Are you a happy hammer with the transfer window so far?
Yeah, I can go to bed, can't I? Do you know what I mean? It's like, don't go to bed. But I'm like, yeah, we won't have a Hugo moment where we're waiting for someone decent to come in, and it's who? And so yeah, he's done the business early. So he's actually had the bulk of the players he's brought in. Pellegrini has for pre-season. He's been able to work with them already, and we've spent a lot of money. It looks like we brought in some good players. It looks like we've brought in some flair and some pace, which we desperately needed. And we all said that, didn't we? Before the transfer window opened, there were things we really needed, and we bulked up the defence massively as well. It's going to take them time to really gel. But looking back to the transfer window, yeah, I think it'll be quite fun to watch and just laugh at everyone else for a change rather than being us that's being laughed at.
Mike, if we sign Sanchez, that will be the 10th player we sign in the transfer window. But is Huselos our main transfer signing?
Yeah, him and Pellegrini, I think, are probably the two big ones. I mean, the minute they came back from their break, didn't they? Just suddenly everything happened. It's like, the professionals have turned up to do it. And I've said many, many times I have major issues with Sullivan being the director of football, and I stand by that. He's not actually that bad an owner per se, as he's demonstrated in this window. He just he wasn't as good at doing it as he thought by a long way, if you know what I mean. And so, yeah, I mean, those two coming in, hopefully now, even in years down the line when they stop doing our manager and director of football, that's now set a template that the club will stick with, you know, to get proper professional people in to do it.
And while all those players are coming in, one player has left since I did a transfer show with 2 guests. Tom, Cheikhou Kouyate has gone to Crystal Palace. What's your opinions on that?
Thank God. Never really sort of lived up to the hype, did he, after the first season? Because he was fantastic in that first season. He was really good for us. But as time went on, he just got lazier and he didn't look bothered and he was never tracking back. And, you know, all the goals that we conceded, usually on the counter-attack, or, you know, it was always like, let's just stop and let's just watch Kouyate for a second. He was always so slow. There was everything wrong with his attitude. And, you know, fair enough, we got a little bit of money for him, 9 million or whatever, I'll take that. But it was more about just getting him off the books and getting somebody fresh in, because it was just, you know, his time here just got sour towards the end, you know, people turning on him almost. But, you know, he's a lovely guy. I think he'll be missed probably more for his, you know, attitude and his almost, you know, his fun sort of character to be around. Like, I'll never forget that video of, you know, him and Payet at the award ceremony coming out, you know, singing, you know, we've got Payet. So it's kind of those things that I remember Kouyate for now, and not for what he did in terms of play. And fair enough, his header against Chelsea in the cup or whatever. But yeah, I think we need to upgrade from him, and I think that we're eventually going to do that in that position. So yeah, it's nice to finally see Cheikhou Kouyate out the door in terms of his football. And if he can make it work at Palace, fair enough. But you know, all the Palace fans that are happy to sign him, just wait a few weeks and months and just watch till you see the real Kouyate and what he's like tracking back, because I think we just got sick to the back teeth of it in the end.
2 players that have been linked with a move away from West Ham all summer are looking more than likely to stay. Mike, all summer you've been leading the fan club for Mikel Antonio. He's looks like he's going to remain at West Ham beyond the transfer window. Are you happy, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's looked. I tell you what, in the pre-season stuff, you know, I thought he's looked fitter and a bit less bulky than he has done for a while. His attitude seems plugged in. It looks like he wants to get involved in this team. If you get the fit, plugged in Antonio, remember the season before last, he was Hammer of the Year. And then suddenly everyone wants to get rid of him. This guy can play. Okay, he doesn't really fit into the pass and move style of Pellegrini. It's more run, isn't it? Just kick and run. But it's like... but I can see him becoming a really important player for us, because he can cover any position at the front. Yeah, he can cover either side or play centre forward if we get a load of injuries. And he's a quality enough player to bring in those positions. You know, it's not like he's rubbish.
The other player was Pedro Obiang. Now, Tom, it's come out that he does actually want to go back to Italy, but he's been told you're not going anywhere. You will be at West Ham, but you may go back next summer if you so wish. Is this A, the right decision, Tom, and is it B, kind of a little bit of a risk keeping a player here against his will?
Yeah, before we go, it's a good job you didn't ask me about Antonio, because I would have sounded off before that. Yeah, I was all for Obiang staying, because I thought this is the kind of system that he would thrive in. And I thought that, you know, if it was a chance to prove himself this season, it would be it. And I think it still is a chance for him to sort of improve. But when I saw him in the pre-season, I was majorly disappointed, because I thought actually at times the best 3 in midfield when they worked together was Rice, Noble and Wilshere. It was almost just like from the minute go, they just had that, you know, between them, they all understood each other, the passing and moving. They looked so fluent at times. And when Obiang and Kouyate, not saying it was Obiang, might have been Kouyate's fault, but it just looked very slow, rigid. You know, they weren't communicating very well. So, yeah, I was disappointed with his outings in pre-season, but I think he's one of those players where you want to give him a chance, because he has moments of brilliance. There's other times when you think, oh God, you just look bang average. So on the one hand, I'd love to keep him, but again, we can all see what happens when you get a bad person in the squad, you know, a la Payet a couple of years ago, whatever. So if it's true that he wants to go home and we're bringing in Sanchez, then maybe it might be Obiang's time to go. But I'd be desperately disappointed if he does get sold to Sampdoria.
Well, it doesn't look like Obiang or Antonio will be going in, where 3 players that do look like they might be on the way out before the transfer window closes or beyond it, because it's the market's still open in Europe and Championship clubs can still do the loan deals, I believe, beyond the transfer window. They just can't buy anyone. That's Sam Byram. He looks like he's off to Nottingham Forest. Hugo looks like he could be on his way to Borough, who currently are smashing Sheffield United, so they might not need a striker after all. And also, Reece Oxford is still being linked back to Germany after going to watch his Mönchengladbach at the weekend in a friendly. Axel Bananovic has gone on loan to Malaga for the season. And that's been Mike, that's been Tom. This has been the latest West Ham rumours, news and gossip surrounding the transfers. Thank you for joining us over the summer. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. And we will see you next season.